Hey guys, coming to you live from Maui, Hawaii today. Just out on a vacation with family. You see the landscape behind me. It's pretty nice out here. This is a golf course from across the street from where we're staying. But anyway, I wanted to kind of do a quick video about the rental that I have. Today I got a GMC Yukon, and the reason being is because we brought our entire family, which consists of 4 adults, 2 kids, and lots of luggage. So we opted to go with a Yukon, and then we had to go with the XL because after we got everybody in, the luggage area was very minimal, and so we opted to go with the XL version to accommodate all our needs. So that being said, here's the vehicle that I'm speaking about. It's a pretty nice vehicle, I have to say. GMC's come a long way in the last decade with their products. I'm pretty impressed with the design, the fit and finish overall. I mean, it's a pretty nice ride. And as I was driving it, I kind of felt, I felt premium in it. The interior, the trim, everything is just really nice. You got all kind of folding down. You got the third row back here. And so with the row all the way down, like I said, there's still adequate space. But look at this area. This is huge. Now, I would gladly get in here just to show you how much space is actually in the back of it. But the day before coming on this vacation, I tweaked my back a little bit. So I probably won't be doing a motorcycle video for a minute. But yeah, I mean, this is a lot of space. We were able to get one super large suitcase, 4 carry-ons, a couple of over-the-shoulder bags, just a ton of stuff. And you can stack it as well. So this thing has the rear camera, which allows you to see behind you pretty well. I mean, specifically in reverse, but once you're in, drive and you're going forward, if you stack it too high, your vision will be obstructed. But the mirrors are pretty good. You can see around the vehicle, unless you're going to go into reverse, randomly. It's not really a big deal. I think with most vehicles of this class, you're going to have the same issue. If you stack it high, you won't be able to see a ton. Not much going on under there. So, I mean, all your space pretty much exists in this back area, and there's plenty of it. It does have the auto folding seats. As I said, the fit and finish is pretty good. Fake wood, but just for the look. You see, it's fake as it is. It's plastic, it's moving about. But from what Chevrolet and GMC used to be, this is a huge improvement. This is vast. I mean, the sound deadening qualities of the materials that they're using are much better. Just looking at this bit here, back in the day, Chevy would have had just a big solid plastic piece, and that piece would start to squeak over the course of, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, and you had these cars starting to show their age prematurely, and really the age that they were showing were the age of the materials. They weren't great materials, and that's basically what you got as a result. A poor lifespan of the materials, and it made the car feel like it was much older than it really was. Pretty good infotainment system. It's all integrated. I have to say though, as I've been driving the vehicle, I was trying to navigate the system, and it's pretty intuitive. I mean, it's touchscreen. Everything you need to do is touchscreen. So that's pretty cool. Of course, it's keeping everything that's ever been paired in it until it gets deleted, and obviously the rental place is not taking the effort to do so. But nevertheless, it's pretty simple stuff, very straightforward. Got storage behind the actual screen. That's kind of cool. Once you do that, this thing goes dark, so there's no visibility for this whatsoever once this is up. That's kind of a fail. I mean, why give me the option to store stuff back here, and then I can't even use the screen once this is up? That's weird, actually. I just discovered that one. So anyway, Now it's back on. So that's, I don't have much to say about that beyond that. All right, so here's USB. The one thing that I did find very appealing about it was it has the heated and cooled seats, which, you know, that's not groundbreaking. I mean, everybody's got that, right? But they work pretty well. I mean, I turned the thing on and immediately it was like, hello, sunshine. Hope you're enjoying your ride. Here's a nice breeze for your butt. So that was, it was pretty pleasant. It was nice, worked nice. Another cool feature it has is the mirror back here. So this mirror basically is a pop-up, pop-down mirror. You can put shades in it in the back, but if you just kind of click it a little bit less, you'll get this mirror that lets you see everybody in the back of the car. If you've got kids, that's really great, so you can kind of see your kids if they, you know, look unhappy or they start throwing up and you can't, you know, you don't know what's going on because you're watching the road as you should be. That's a kind of cool feature, and it kind of keeps them entertained too if you need to talk to them while you're driving, because kids get restless, right? The dash area, I'm pretty impressed with it. For the most part, I'm gonna have to get in and turn that. It's a pretty good setup. It's got all the gauges you need. You get quite a bit of information in the middle of that screen there. See if I can get that to come on. There we go. I apologize if it's not if I'm not getting a very good shot of that. Let me change positions because I can't really control much from this side. All the stuff you need on the driver's side: control, windows, lights, mirrors, blah 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 blah. And for those who care to see the engine, we'll take a look at the engine. That's cool. So it's telling me my hood's open. That's actually a smart thing to have in there. I know that probably seems elementary, but you'd be surprised at people that I see. And being a car guy, I notice just subtle things about people's cars. I can tell somebody's car has leaking springs. You can just look at a person's car and tell how well they take care of it and what's wrong with it. You know, got a wheel jumping up and down. Probably got a strut issue or their tires out of whack. So people drive around with their hood open, not knowing. And while it does have that one little hook latch that falls over the actual the little ring that's in the top of the hood, that when it closes, that thing goes over it and locks down, it can come up. Enough wind force will force that loose, and then you've got a hood in front of your windshield going at whatever speed you might be going. That's not a cool situation. So anyway, information, pretty much everything you expect to see here. And you can navigate that with this control here. It just takes you through all the different menus and whatever. You know, your speed, fuel economy, tire pressure, oil life. And this is all, you know, customary stuff that you'll find in pretty much any car. So this is not groundbreaking tech. So let me go back to this menu. Let me show you something if I can get it to actually respond. So here's the navigation. And so trying to access the navigation, I had to actually call OnStar because it wouldn't set. I couldn't get it to respond to my needs. And as you see here, I got nothing going on when I push the button, except if I want to get out. So if you go to the middle screen and go to navigation, OnStar, and it says no active route, there's currently no active route, press the OnStar button to set a route. Well, as you can see on there, if you can see that, there's no OnStar button to press. This is a compass, there's nothing to press. You press the navigation button itself, nothing happens because you're already on the screen. So you do have to call OnStar, and from what I learned, you know, you have to basically pay for that in order for your navigation to work in this car. It's almost the same as when you buy vehicles that are so-called navigation equipped. You get a monitor, and it has functionality for all the other things you need to do. So when I back up, the camera comes on and shows me the backup screen. So it does actually function, but for navigation, you have to subscribe to the OnStar service. And so it's not so different from what other manufacturers are doing. Basically, they give you equipment and then they upsell you on that next level of, you know, functionality or feature. So that was a little disappointing. I mean, but this is a rental car. They're not going to pay for that for a rental car, I don't think. They can make money on giving you some standalone device that you stick in the car on the windshield or whatever, and that's basically your navigation. But that was kind of disappointing. Again, if you're gonna buy one of these vehicles, you definitely have to think about that. If that's something you are gonna need, I think with most cars today, to not have navigation is kind of it's stupid. You might as well have it. It's too bad it's not standard with every car now. But anyway, that's something that will probably be off-putting for me if I am to rent another vehicle, you know, in the future. I'm probably not going to rent a GMC unless I already know up front, hey, the navigation OnStar system is already installed on it. Because if I'm in an area that I'm not familiar with, I kind of want that. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know Hawaii. And, you know, for me driving around, I mean, it's pretty easy to navigate if you just follow the streets you were on. But I kind of would like to have the accessibility of, you know, the navigation system. So anyway, that's that. One of the other things that I found was that the controls for the stereo are nowhere on the steering wheel. Do you see it anywhere? If you see it, send me a note and let me know, because it ain't showing up for me. I mean, I'm getting older, but my eyesight is not that bad. The reason why is because it is not located there. It is located here. These buttons control the stereo tune up and down. It's usually your presets. On this side is your stereo volume up and down. If you want to adjust your gearing, you use these buttons. So the reason why I know these are back here is because I was looking for this, and I wasn't paying attention to what that was, because I just didn't expect that would be there and that the volume would be here. And so I went to push that and it didn't do anything to the gearing, but I noticed that my music changed. So I thought that was odd. You know, why would you put it on the back? I mean, these two buttons are only up and down, so it's two things that it could be: volume and gearing. And I think to have a volume control for your stereo behind the steering wheel where you normally have gear selector is kind of, I don't know, stupid. There's room here. There's plenty of room. I mean, they could have put the button here: volume up, volume down, volume or tune up, tune down. It seems like it could have been done there. And I guess if you're, you know, a customer of GMC, it's not really a big deal to you. But, you know, you have to get to know the vehicle to understand the what and the whys. I don't know if there's a why that would really justify that for me, but that just seems really odd. For the wipers, you have to twist to turn those on. You have a rear one, so that has its own switch. It's once upon a time on GM products used to be your cruise on. There's a button here that would be your set. For the rear wiper, there's a button here you press and that dispenses the wiper fluid. And then you have an auto, you know, feature for your wiper, so it's rain sensing. And then this is also your high beam flash and your indicators. So that's different in that most cars don't have this guy. Mercs do. A lot of the Merc SUVs have that. And I'll have to do a video on my buddy's car to see if all his controls are here, if it's a multi-stock situation or not. But because my wife's car, for instance, doesn't have this, there's a stock over here that, you know, has all these features, and you just go up and down to turn the wipers on. So I was trying to get the wiper to come on to clean the windshield, and I was going right, and that wasn't what I was intending to do. But again, that's just one, you know, additional sort of quirk or nuance for me as a driver of a different type of vehicle that I'd have to get used to if I was buying this. Over here you also have your four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive mode select, all your lights as usual. You can adjust the distance of your pedal, your brake pedal, and then you've got your traction control, all that kind of stuff there. So, I mean, for the most part, the vehicle is pretty well laid out, from my opinion. Everything seems to be where it should be. The cooled seats, as I mentioned, I like that, and immediately you get a nice little summer breeze up your rear. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, this thing is pretty nice. I'm pretty impressed with it. The quality and build integrity of the GMC line from Chevrolet to Cadillac has been greatly improved, like I said, over the last decade. So I think they're kind of now really in the game and in the fight with, you know, the Japanese brands and some of the European brands at some level. I think there is a threshold. I think if I'm paying for something like a BMW 7 Series or a Mercedes, you know, GL 450 or something like that, Lexus, the Lexus LX or GX, I think I'm probably going to be a little bit more biased to those guys because they've been doing quality at such a high level for such a long time, whereas GM is just now, you know, within the last 10-15 years starting to really even come close to the mark. I think there are going to be some improvements in the future that will get them closer, that'll bridge that gap and make a lower distance between the quality of an American car and a foreign car, and that'll be a great thing for America, right? While this is not necessarily the vehicle I would choose, I do like these, but I think this is a good option if you're thinking about something in an SUV and you're not looking to spend the money you're going to spend on a Mercedes, because, you know, let's be honest, the gap between these two is still significant, that you're going to pay a lot more for the likes of a Mercedes SUV or an Audi SUV. And I think these are a little bit more rugged in terms of usability. If you're going to use this to pull stuff, I'd probably opt for this before I'd go get a Mercedes. I don't know. I don't see a Mercedes as being the full utility vehicle that they're you know, selling it as. I think it can handle off-road type stuff and, you know, snow and things like that. I don't really see it as, I don't see people who buy Mercedes as people who are going to pull a bunch of shit with it. All right, well, that concludes it. Just you guys want you guys to see what I was up to today, and talk a little bit about my rental. I'm always about reviewing whatever I'm driving, and this was the opportunity. I took it. There you have it. So I hope you guys are doing well. We'll catch up with you next time, and once my back's better, we'll finish up on motorcycle stuff. But just want to give you an update from Hawaii. Till next time, all-wheel drive. Peace out.